Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Not My Garage. We're here on the American Autobahn, also known as the Texas Interstate Highway System, and we're gonna go buy a car because it's been a couple weeks and I haven't done that. So we just left Buc-ee's and we're almost to our destination, but I just gotta talk up how nice the E92 is at this particular activity. This thing just eats miles, and we're getting about 28 miles per gallon calculated. We left Wichita and stayed overnight in Dallas. Now we're heading to Houston to pick up the car and go back to Dallas because a friend of mine is getting married in about 6 hours. So time is tight, to say the least. But man, this thing is just an effortless highway cruiser. Great sound system, great ride. It doesn't take any effort to just go. And it goes quite quickly. Yeah. I mean, totally legal speeds, but quite quickly. What's it been? 4 hours of driving. We're finally rolling up on Dude's place. And it is 72 degrees and beautiful out. And I'm going to be so upset when I go back to Wichita and it's not this. Also, it's green here. Goodness gracious. See, I wish we had forests like that. Forests in the South don't have... Forests in the South don't have all the undergrowth. Like, in Wichita, all the woods are, like, clogged with vines and brush and stuff. But you could ride a dirt bike through there, no problem. You can't ride a dirt bike unless there's been a trail cut in Kansas. It's infuriating. I noticed that when I was in Louisiana. I was like, wow, there's just nothing on the forest floor. It's just empty. How wonderful. Horsey. Fire pit.
It's quite the location we got out here. It feels kind of lawless.
Man, it is genuinely gorgeous here, but we did the thing that you guys have been asking for a while, and I found another insight. And it needs a little work, but I think we can get it back to Kansas, and we'll talk more about the rest of the car later. But the important part is it doesn't have a hybrid battery right now, but in the back of the BMW we have my hybrid battery. So got 5 hours till we got to be at a buddy's wedding. Let's see if we can get this in here and get back to Dallas. We're right outside H-Town right now. What do you think, Tyler?
I don't know, how far are we assembling this?
Enough.
Well, you got jack and your lug wrench and all that stuff.
But is there coke to go with the jack? Also, this dude has a car that must be like one of 10 in the country. That is a manual cruise diesel hatch.
Which is super cool.
That is awesome.
And the all-wheel drive swapped
and an
Civic.
all-wheel drive EG and like 2 more insides. This dude has some sick stuff. Anyway, we got this thing for $4,500. It needs a lot of stuff from my other car, but we'll talk more about that when we're back in Dallas, probably tomorrow. Right now, it is deleted, so looks like we got a little jumper harness here. You want to get started undoing that tape, and I'll start collecting stuff out of the BMW.
It is warm.
It is warm. It's a bit weird considering the Wichita is the way that it is. So Tyler's over here undoing, yeah, you'll want to unbolt all these as well. He's undoing the bypass, and I am preparing, where the hell I set it? Oh, here we go. And I'm preparing the wiring harness with these Anderson connectors. If you go back to my video on lithium swapping these cars, this is the only modification that has to happen on the car side, and then we can just dump the battery in, and it's pretty much plug and play. I'll reset codes and adaptations and whatnot, and then we just have to put this interior back together. Hopefully dude has the parts that all the parts we'll need for that. Otherwise it's just going to be an annoying rattly ride home. Look at that, it's got an S2000 steering wheel in it, and a cruise control that actually functions. Isn't that cool?
Where is the fuel pump?
Fuel pump cover's right here.
Okay, because under the driver's seat. Looks like a fuel pump cover. Yeah.
I don't recognize that.
Maybe that goes on the battery there or something.
Maybe. There we go. Modifications made thusly. Okay, oh, there's one thing. Okay, so there's a couple things that need to happen all at once here. First of all, I need a little piece of edge guard, gray. Yeah, so that goes here. Damn it.
Doing. Was that E flat?
So now, I think there's just one thing left.
Shenanigans?
And I think that's the last connection.
Cool.
Oh, I was wrong. This goes here. I vote not bothering with the covers until we're in Dallas.
Well, I mean, just laying stuff on here. And then we'll go to. Then when we get to Dallas, we'll put everything back together properly-ish.
All right. I think it is now time to throw the switch.
Wrong lever!
I see blinking lights. All right. Get the LI display, or the display here.
Why is the recline wrong side?
Alright, IMA started. We've got state of charge. Oh, look at that. Beauty. This engine runs better than mine ever did. So yeah, that's the thing. The gas powertrain on this seems way stronger than mine was.
Hello?
The gauge cluster will need replaced. I've got this at home. Look at that, we've got a cruise control, leather S2K wheel.
Got the XAD. It needs motor mounts.
Got AC. It lives. Place your bets. Well, there we go. She's running on IMA. And if you want some real old school, check this out. We've got my iPod Mini, which I flash modded with a 32 gig SD card in there and a compact, or no, it's got a 32 gig compact flash card in there and a brand new battery. So that's going to provide the entertainment. The LIBCM working great. Only issue is we got a code for the primary O2 sensor, which is a factory wideband, and these cars are about $140 new. It's completely dead. So we're going to try and slap another one in here and hope that we can get something working, because that is going to absolutely wreck fuel economy and drivability. Like, it's going to have no power.
Look at your dead pedal cover down there.
Yep, it's got...
That's super cool.
I don't know who made that, but that's pretty sweet. So we're going to go ahead and shut down the diag tablet for now. I got the SRS light off, so we've got no lights on this dashboard for now. We're going to have a check engine light, though, because even a used LAF, even if it reports a little bit, it's probably going to be hosed. Yeah, interior of this car is actually nicer than mine was, except for the gauge cluster and the missing temp knob. But other than that, this thing is... The engine's better than mine was, and the interior's better than mine was. And those are the hardest things to resolve on these cars, so I am pretty stoked about that. One of the many parts cars around here supplied another O2 sensor, so we're just gonna gonna hope that this one's a little better. There's the Rosta cruise control that this has, which is the one to have on these cars. AC, what, this is an 01, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so AC was standard. 01 was the first year of the CVT. And let's see, the only option you could get on these was CVT or automatic and CD changer, which this does not have, I don't think. Mine had the CD changer. Ooh, got a little shark fin. That's cute. Paint is a little rough. Needs some love. But the important parts are okay. It isn't wrecked completely. Aren't these just the easiest card?
Oh, crap.
Oh.
They're different?
That's a different... Oops. The parts car is a CVT, and the CVTs do not have lean burn, which is where the Hondas will run at like a 17 or a 21-to-1 air-fuel ratio, which is why they need the wideband O2 sensor. So this does not have the right O2 sensor in it. Wow, this one has better condition, less for dry-rotted tires, though. And there's the other parts car. How about that? And this super cool truck. Look at this thing. Just been sitting forever. CB radio and stuff in there. Absolutely beautiful. And this old camper on the back. I love it.
Nope. Still dead. So the one off the parts car was actually for an automatic, which is a narrow band, and we needed a wide band. And so tried the old farmer's trick, tried to torch it, and we still don't have any voltage reporting from sensor 1, so it's gonna kind of suck, but nothing we can do about it right now.
Well, it's kind of loud in here because we didn't install much of the back, but we're cruising. And I literally mean cruising. I have the cruise control set at 75, and it's wonderful. The LIBCM means that I'm able to just leave it in 5th, and it does highway speeds. It makes it up the hills, and then it background charges on the way back down them. What the heck was that? Is that Silverado? It was a horrible noise. The check engine light did come back for the O2 sensor. And we're going to be cutting it really close to get to my friend's wedding, so it's go time. I really hope that this goes smoothly, because I really don't want to disappoint my friends and be late to their wedding. So I will check in with you guys periodically, but hopefully not too many times, because hopefully this is just a straightforward trip from H-Town to DFW. And then tomorrow, from DFW to Wichita. Okay, yeah, this Silverado with a loud exhaust and pulling a trailer keeps trying to race me. I cannot tell you why. Things are going okay. Unfortunately, my planning skills are less than stellar, and yeah, I left my nice clothes at my friend's place that we're staying at, which is an hour out of the way between here and the wedding venue. So we're just hauling ass straight to the wedding venue, and amazingly, with the lithium, this car is able to haul ass. It's quite impressive, actually. The blown suspension is making me seasick, but we're going to get to the wedding 5 minutes before it starts, at the current rate. Though I did just get cut off by a dude towing a lawnmower on a trailer, which proceeded to spray clumps of dirt all over the car. So that was annoying. Texas drivers sure are something. Let's see, what do we got? An hour and 25 minutes. We're taking the South Bypass around DFW. What is this? 287. So hopefully things continue the way that they have been. This thing's just ticking right along. I'm not getting stellar fuel economy, but my tires are underinflated, and I don't want to inflate them because they are very dry rotted. The alignment is hosed, and the O2 sensor is broken. So 42 miles per gallon at 80 miles an hour, with all of that and the AC going, and no under tray, I'm pretty pleased. This car is a little more of a project than I was hoping for, but you know, it's not completely hosed. I did get... There are weird noises coming from the air conditioning all of a sudden, but at least this car doesn't need, like, the powertrain replaced or something like that. The powertrain's good, it's just got some cosmetic issues, which are hopefully resolvable. I don't know, this will probably... I might paint this myself, who knows. Do a driveway paint job. I'm gonna go back to putting the hammer down and try and get to my buddy's wedding, because life is a Hallmark show and we are all just actors in it. So, the wedding was very normal, and very fun. Congratulations to Chris and Leslie. But during the hour drive across the suburban hellscape that is Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area, I'm getting a phone call. Hi. Yes. Bet. Bye. So yeah, during the hour drive to get from one suburb to another suburb, we had a little bit of a blowout at 85. Luckily, I mean, blessing and a curse. Blessing that it was a front wheel, so it didn't tear up the side skirt. Curse because that's a steer wheel, and that was hard to keep control of. But somehow it did not tear up the fender liner at all. The actual outer band stayed completely intact. It's just the sidewall of this absolutely trashed tire decided to commit unalive. Fortunately, I have a spare. Unfortunately, the other front tire is also trashed, so it's going to be a very slow drive back to the apartment. Or we just leave this in a parking lot somewhere nearby and deal with it tomorrow, because we need to go get tires, clearly. Which is really annoying, because the alignment on this car is trash, so any tires that I buy are going to be throwing money away, because they're going to be junk by the time I get back to, Wow, that is amazing sounding. They're going to be junk by the time I get back to, Wichita. Okay, I'll grab the donut. The gang's all here. Why is there no shoulder? Dallas, what the fuck? It's 3:40 the next day. I feel absolutely putrid. I am exhausted, and we still do not have a way to get the inside home. All the tires are 2008 date code, so we don't trust them. and it's a very rare size, so we can't buy them. And it's Sunday, so most tire shops aren't even open. So right now we've been driving for about an hour into North Dallas, because there's a guy who has a bunch of Insight parts, including a set of wheels with barely used tires on them. Now the downside is these tires have like 2013 date codes, but they appear to have been stored inside, so there's no weather cracking. Hopefully they'll get us to Wichita. But before we can do that, we gotta gather the whole circus up and head into East Dallas to a buddy's house, because we're gonna try and fix the toe on that car that's making it drive super bad and would probably trash those tires before we even made it back to Wichita. So my sinus pressure is about 1,000,000 PSI. I'm tired of driving. It's almost 4 p.m. We still have to get all this done and then drive back to Wichita. So it is going to be a late night for sure. And I'm not looking forward to any of it. If we're really lucky, this guy says he has some other Insight parts, so we'll take a look at his part stash, and maybe there's something else that I need that can make the Insight a little more tolerable on the way back. I don't know. So that's the situation. We'll probably catch you guys when we're doing the alignment. Very nice older man sold me a set of very good condition Insight wheels in some okay condition. Yep. So we've got wheels and tires, so now we gotta head all the way back through Dallas, head to my buddy Mike's house. He's got a lift and most importantly, an air-conditioned garage. We're gonna throw these wheels and tires on, and we're going to try and do a string alignment to fix the abhorrent front toe on that car. And then hopefully we can head out of here. We're also going to swing by Mike's Mechanics to pick up a CIC retrofit for this car, because CCC is driving me absolutely batty. If you are buying a pre-2009 BMW 06 to 09, do not get navigation. Avoid navigation. The navigation unit is such a headache. It makes it next to impossible to get good audio in here. And you know me, I appreciate good audio. Even just stuff like listening to a CD is an absolute baffling nightmare. So yeah, just don't get nav, so then you can put a normal radio in it and have normal radio things instead of this trash. I do like the iDrive knob though. Like, this is wonderful for fiddling with things without, you know, it means that the screen can be up in your line of sight, because this as a touchscreen would be horrible, always leaning forward. So it's up in your line of sight, and it's nice and tactile. If I want an item 3 things down on the list, I turn the knob 3 clicks. I don't have to look at anything. Anyway, I'll see you all at Mike's, I guess. Oh, well, we got the wheels and tires back. We're at Mike's place. There's a whole lot happening all at once. Tyler is going ham on the taillight. Had a brake light out, so he's getting that swapped out, because Mike just happened to have one.
No, he had a 3057. I was wondering if they might fit, but they, in fact, do not.
Okay, well, we need to make a burger and bulb. Burgers and bulbs. Burger and bulb run.
Hey, don't steal my idea.
Yeah. Hail damage. Not disclosed. Yeah, see, what frustrates me most about this is, like, I straight up asked the guy, like, hey, I'm driving this back to Wichita. Are the tires okay? He was like, I'll check. The next day, he's like, yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they're not fine. 2008 date code is very much not fine. So that's frustrating. And I saw that when I showed up, but it was like, what was I gonna do? Oh well. So hopefully we can get. I mean, look at these wheels. These wheels are actually in really good shape. These are usually super oxidized, so that's actually a pretty decent set of wheels. The tires on these are pretty ancient as well. I think they're 10 years old. A little bit of weather cracking, but with how light these cars are, you can actually stretch these pretty dang far. So I think we'll be good to go. And then we've got toe plates somewhere. There's toe plates around here somewhere, and we're going to try and do a string alignment if we can. And I've never taken the rear spats off one of these before. It's a couple of quarter-turn Zeus fasteners on either side, and then they just kind of unclip from all this stuff. And out it comes. You can get a look at the the rear suspension, and we'll see a bit more of that when the tire is off. Oh my gosh, look at how cracked that is. That is terrible. And then all of these cars always look like the rears are super towed in just because the body gets narrower as you go rear. But we found something interesting. There's a decent amount of deflection in this wheel, and it almost seems like it's the strut mount wiggling. So we're gonna see if we can tighten this down. I don't have high hopes, but it's worth a shot at least.
It definitely moved. Yeah, you're definitely doing something.
I see some
something, yes. This is not at all how I thought this worked.
Yeah, so there's a mark right here. You want it centered with the wheel. And then you basically just use these just to kind of... The idea is you need even-ish spacing. Close enough so that it's flat.
Okay, so yeah, this is how I usually try to set home, except I don't have the fancy plates. I use a tape measure and a buddy, and we hate our lives afterwards.
That's how I've done it, but when you're trackside, anything to help speed this up so that you can meet your next session.
And how much are these? Like
it varies. You can get these plates like for $60.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I know Summit sells a really cheap set. Amazon probably is like, they're just pieces of metal, dude.
Yeah, and I'm guessing these slots are where the tape measures go?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sick.
So the only reason why this kit was more expensive was, I didn't bring it, but you can also set camber and caster with it. So on the other one, you'll see like an L bracket. It's for setting a camber gauge.
I see. Yeah, I mostly just care about the car making it to the alignment shop.
Yeah, if you only care about tow, you can go way cheaper.
That's what I thought these were. I thought you were bringing slip plates.
I have DIY slip plates at home. If we're just setting tow, it doesn't really matter. Just we'll rock it back and forth with each adjustment. 9:30 seconds here.
That's what the front was.
That doesn't make sense. Then I'm not doing math right.
The math's not mathing.
The math is not mathing. This is what you get ever so slightly hungover after a wedding.
Slightly.
Like I can visually, it's close to 0.
Yeah.
Like you can see, they're pretty close. This one's closer to 1/4. Yeah. See the engine.
I don't know. The motor mounts seem fine to me.
Trying to catch up. Hang on, maybe
They're
I'll
just
also do
really
this.
soft.
I'm gonna put it in gear and do that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's actually not bad. Like that's pretty good for me.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, I've
seen worse.
I've owned worse.
Jake.
What?
Nice.
Magic. Oh yeah, these have aluminum. So
You're gonna die.
that's a aluminum drum, which is nifty.
I believe Jeremy Clarkson described aluminum brakes as having the same properties as cheese.
The world's tiniest shock absorber, blown in this case, and useless little spring. Not a lot going on here, and it's a twist rear beam, so it's about as simple as it gets.
Not sure.
What are we up to?
I figured I'd check the ECU, see if there might be any water damage, since it's right there in the floorboard and your drain tube's loose. And somebody's been in there installing the cruise control, so
Oh yeah.
just given the fact that the voltage was really flat on that O2 sensor, it's kind of sussy. So
Also, we got the oil topped up with some fresh Zero Dub 20, and we replaced both of the brake lights. So this one was burnt out, and just replaced both of them. So now we're all legal. I'm going to leave these the spats off, though I am going to put them back in the hatch because in case we have a spontaneous tire deconstruction event, I do not want these to get damaged because those are absolute upset. Look at these. They're little Zeus fasteners. Pretty clever.
hey Jake,
Yo.
you happen to have access to the PCM pinout for this?
I do not.
Okay.
How incredibly majestic. We're finally about to leave Dallas. Our ETA to Wichita is 2:30 in the morning. I'm looking forward to none of this. I've got my headphones because it is unbearably loud in that car on the highway. But just going through Dallas on the George Bush Turnpike, this thing keeps up with traffic and it does it well. And I'm not talking like 50 and a 60 traffic. I'm talking Dallas traffic, which is like 90 and a 70. And it had no problem hanging. It is absolutely phenomenal. We've got the wheels and tires on. Unfortunately, the wheels are not balanced, which is a little annoying, and of course the shocks are blown, so it's real annoying to drive, but at least it has cruise, so we'll get there, hopefully. It's gonna suck, but we'll get there. So I'm gonna hit the road, and I'll check in whenever we stop, which is hopefully never. Made it to Oklahoma City at least. Car is doing pretty okay, actually. It's not the most comfortable thing ever, but I'm making do. I think we've got about 2 hours left. I'm still way above half a tank. 183 miles on this tank, 44.8 miles per gallon indicated, and that is with a bad primary O2 sensor and no aero. So if that's accurate, this car is healthy, and it feels healthy. I mean, doing 70, 80 miles an hour on these interstates pretty much without a problem. It just feels like a normal car. And the cruise control, again, wonderful. What a feature. They should add this to all cars. And the lithium swap putting in absolute insane amounts of work. I did have a couple issues back in Dallas where under heavy regen braking it would beep, and I wasn't of the presence of mind to actually look at the LCD when it did that, but I think what was happening was it was overvolting one or two of the cells because one of the cells wasn't happy. But I think exercising the pack has exorcised those demons, and we are doing pretty okay now. It's just kind of loud in here, but hey, I'll get this home. Next episode we'll tear this thing apart and we'll start putting in all the goodies from my old car and really try to make this thing as good as it can be mechanically for cheap. There's some stuff I'll have to buy, like motor mounts. I'll have to buy those, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for suspension. There's no cheap option there. I think that's gonna be like $500-600 no matter how I cut it, which is unfortunate. This is way more of a project than I'd hoped for, but at least it's all fairly straightforward, easy stuff. It is 3 in the morning and we have made it to Casa del Jake. I can hear my upset dog inside crying, and I'm exhausted and have work in the morning, so I'll see y'all in the next video where we will take a deeper dive into what all is actually going on with this thing, what's wrong with it, things I've noticed on the trip, that sort of thing. So stick around for the next video with this Honda Insight as I bring this thing back to its former glory and hopefully reclaim the glory of my previous Honda Insight, which was tragically taken. Thanks for watching.